Alright guys, so last we left off I was slaughtering everything, and it's been followed by more slaughtering. In fact, let's slaughter these guys now as they charge into me. It won't help them, trust me. So here we have the Book of Blood.
Beyond the gateway of blood and past the hall of fire, Valor awaits for the hero of light to awaken.
I'm kind of surprised that the Barbarian could read that. At least not the stereotypical portrayal of barbarians as in literate guys who read things. Anyway, this character's just been doing tremendously well. And I want to show you guys, there's these stat tabs now that kind of give you more details. It's interesting, we have 14% critical hit, 131% critical hit damage, which is really nice. It's sometimes you'll see big hits come up for like 100 points, or close to that. That comes from the bonus to critical hit damage, obviously. The critical hit damage and percent, I think the bonus is 2 damage is governed by your strength. The critical hit rate is governed by dexterity. And I'm not really sure what the formula is exactly, but it's like every few points of dexterity or strength, you'll get an extra percent to either your damage or your chance to do a critical hit, respectively. Now, I mean, this could really break the game unless he has some kind of a soft cap on how high that can go, or a hard cap. Because I imagine once your critical hit rate gets past like maybe 30, you're really dealing like some major damage to things. So we're either going to find enemies that have tremendous amounts of HP, or there's some kind of cap on this. I'm not sure how he balanced it. I think also no, spells don't seem to have critical hits. Never mind. But they do have penetration, which, I mean, could be kind of like that, because if you're using resistance penetration on something that doesn't have resistance in the first place, well, that's kind of like a damage bonus. So it'll be interesting to see how the developer of this mod reconciled those two things. It'll be kind of funny if I end up with a character with like 100% critical hit rate. And here's the guy, the man himself, the risen hero, and he's not risen no more. Wow. I completely friggin' trashed him. I thought he would give me more of a problem. Now, of course, I do have magic resistance. I didn't even have to go berserk. But I do have some magic resistance, and sorry for talking over him when he's saying something. So he couldn't really damage me as much as, you know, possible. And I have this thing, a jagged axe, which is a pretty beefed up broad axe. I traded it in for, or traded the butcher's cleaver in for this. I would say the cleaver might be better in terms of DPS, but its durability was terrible, and this does better spike damage, as you could see. So it kind of makes up for the fact that it's a little slower. And I have a nice piece of armor here, Grand Mail of the Jaguar, so that's pretty good. I don't know, I might put on the Arkane's Valor, I might not. I'll have to look at it again. I think I already have one laying around, but we'll see. I can't get that robe at the moment. We'll have to go back up to town. And maybe I'll go into the next stage and fight a little bit. So yeah, I'm really surprised by that. Like I said, the difference between the Necromancer and this guy is, it's just tremendous. I'm really beginning to think that maybe the Necromancer wasn't balanced all that well. Like, it could have used a little more work. Because from what I've seen of the other characters, they're all fairly capable of dealing some pretty decent damage and surviving. And most of them can hold their own pretty well. I would say that the assassin is a little fragile, but that's kind of like her thing. But she has some pretty powerful attack skills and stuff that can get her through. And of course, if you have good equipment and you build her right, it's not too bad. I haven't really tested the warrior yet, but on paper he looks good. The sorcerer looks good on paper, and I know for a fact that the rogue's pretty good. So I tried her out. So I'm really thinking that, you know, maybe he could have given the necromancer, you know, just a little love, I guess. You know, maybe made his skeletons a little bit stronger. That's something hard to discern, though. Like, it's a hard choice to make, because on one hand, you don't want to have someone who can just farm all day with some skeletons that are on autopilot, but on the other hand, you want them to be able to survive. So I don't know, or maybe I was just doing things wrong. It's something I'm really trying to figure out. I'm very curious about. So this is good in some ways, but it's a lot weaker than what I have ultimately. And do we... Oh, I don't have an Arkane's Valor in here, do I? Well, that's strange. Well, we do now. Good times. I guess I'll just sell this stuff.
What can I do for you?
Because I can't sell that here. I'm gonna check for some good equipment, maybe. I'm really looking for a slightly better belt. I mean, this is okay, but I would like the next tier of belt. That would be nice to have. One thing I am concerned with this character is getting a decent bow. Because I want something that's really... I want something that can fire quickly. And the hunter's bow does fill that slot very nicely. Has fast attack speed. Most of the other bows I've seen for this character, not necessarily all characters, but for this particular type of character, the Barbarian, he either fires it at normal speed or slowly, which is not quite acceptable. I do need him to kind of like be able to,
Whoa, what can I do
shoot
for
some
you?
arrows at a decent speed. Because I use it to take archers and mages down. I was actually fighting archers in level 5 using the bow to great effect too. I was surprised. Especially like with his critical hit damage. Like if he got a crit with that bow, like you could nail an archer in a shot, and even some tougher enemies. Like it was very useful. But yeah, so I'm hoping that like later bows, some of them might be a little bit faster, like the short war bow. Of course, the developer made some like he made some new classes of bow, or base bows, I guess you could say. So hopefully there's like a second incarnation of the hunter's bow, because I've noticed as you get to the higher levels, like you get things like, instead of rags you get tatters, which are like a powered up version of them, or you get like the grand robe, or the cudgel, which is like a powered up club. So I'm hoping that there's either a better bow in general, or like a powered up version of the hunter's bow, because we can get very powerful hunter's bows if we're lucky and we get like good drops and stuff. And the one I have is pretty good. I forget what it is exactly. I'll take a look at it. So it's a fine bow of maiming. So 7 hit to hit, 36% to damage, and plus another 5 points of damage. So that's a pretty nice weapon for now. And so we can get things that are along those lines. He doesn't do real great against these guys if he does. I'm also not tremendously worried about damage because he's either going to be using it with a skill called Inner Fire, which we'll learn about later. I think you need to be like level 24 to get it. Or maybe one of his other skills, we're just Berserk, which gives it a pretty nice damage bonus in and of itself. So, you know, we'll have to see where all that goes. Here we go. We've got some archers and other things. Oh, I remember these guys. Downright horrifying. Unfortunately, we kind of see that, like, his damage with this bow is like, yeah, it's okay. Like, he doesn't have the skill to back it up, so I'm hoping that Inner Fire stacks with it. It essentially adds fire damage to your attacks, if I've read it correctly, and it can even penetrate fire resistance. So you're getting a nice damage bonus no matter what, which can be very helpful. I'm just going to take these guys out with melee. And you see I got a nice critical hit there. These enemies can't really argue with those. Let's see, what do I all have here? I want this thing. Throw it on the ground. Oh, I thought of that. That's like so old. I don't need your rags. Throw them on the ground. Oh, I really like the color scheme of the Barbarian. I never noticed that with the chainmail. I don't know if we can see it while holding a bow, but there's like a lion crest on the front, which is pretty cool. It comes out like really nicely with the Barbarian because it's red, and I think the warrior is always blue, and that was like probably the gayest thing I've ever said, but that's okay. I'm not judging here. I don't judge anyone much. Maybe. So what all do we have over here? Actually, you know what? I'm gonna blame my wife for that because she was looking at paint for a new house, and she was, you know, we were looking at different colors and stuff, and she was telling me about it. So I blame her. Yeah, it's all her fault, not my fault. Can I trick these guys out? Nope. Yes, I'm gonna have to cap their asses. Close range cappings. I remember the Fire Clans doing like that backhand move in Vanilla Diablo, but it didn't seem to. Maybe it did knock me back. I don't really remember anymore. Maybe that's something he added in. Okay, we're getting surrounded here. Not working. They also seem to do fire damage, which is something I don't remember them doing either. Makes sense. Makes sense to get attacked by fire goats in a catacomb full of undead. I also like the Barbarian's comment when he walks into the catacombs. He's like, "Is that me or does that stench?" It's something like there's. What's that stench? Is it me or zombies? Something like that. Thought that was pretty funny. Yeah, you wanna get your shit wrecked? Oh, excuse me. Losing my voice. Yeah, I got this new, I got some, like, ginger tea that I'm trying. And, probably not a good choice before, before recording. Like, I thought it'd be, like, a good thing to drink while, like, talking for long periods of time. Like, I was like, oh, this might, like, soothe my throat, a little tea. I didn't realize it was very strong ginger. It's good, though. But, kills me. Like, whenever I say I'm sipping a beverage, like, it's generally not alcohol. It's probably like coffee or tea or soda, something like that. I probably should start drinking while playing these games, though. It might be very fun. But yeah, it's usually just something very mild, really, and uninteresting. Okay, let's see where we can go from here. I don't think I'm going to do a whole lot more of this episode. I might do the Chamber of Bone, though. Maybe we'll do an episode for that. There's another quest down here. I might do that, in fact. We'll see. I have to remember what the quest is. I know you had to, like, step on some things. I was very confused about it, in fact. It was all very, very unnerving. Yeah. Our inventory, so we might as well just go back up to town. And see what Griswold has for us.
Whoa, what can I do for you?
Actually, you know, we're almost level 16. I think I'm going to go on a little bit more so we can see what we get. Oh, that would have been a very nice belt if it had hit points on it. That would have been great. Like, I can't tell you how many friggin' times I've been up and down from the labyrinth to here looking for goods. It's a pain in the ass, honestly. Ring of Light, You and your shitty shit,
Hello,
Griswold.
my friend. Stay a while and listen.
Raven Coat. Spirit Cow. With my luck, it's all going to be, like, great stats on these shitty items. Like, the rags will have like 80 hit points on them and 200% armor or some shit like that. The cap will be the same. 42 enhanced armor, well, it's not all that great. Raven Coat. Enhanced armor, resist lightning, hit points. That's kind of good, but not that great. And that thing just sucks. And that sucks too. Yeah, high durability rags. It's great. Well, thank you, game. I'll just sell these other rags. I'm not really stockpiling as many items as I was. I don't think we're going to need them all. Oh yeah, I already checked this shit. What am I doing? That's one thing, like, I actually preferred the list system that Diablo 1 employed, because it was easier to see things. You could just look down the written list and eyeball it. Now you gotta mouse over every fucking thing. It's not very good, really. That was one of the things I didn't like about Diablo 2. I mean, I love Diablo 2, but that was one of the things I didn't really like about it. Some more of that smooth ginger tea. Oh my god. Yeah, well, then there were some improvements, so I will say that. Like, you could always just click on a tab to get all your equipment repaired. And instead of having to, like, cycle through a list to do it. That was an improvement for sure. But, yeah, it was a double-edged sword in my opinion, really. Alright, so we're done here. I'll go down again, hit some things with the axe. I'll repair my shit first, actually. We'll do that.
Whoa,
Hit some shit with the axe and call it a... Oh, I already repaired it. Damn. Well, I swear, it's really just tea that I'm drinking. Okay, so that's the Chamber of Bone book, if I remember correctly. I mean, I can read it. It won't matter. If you want to, we can hear the Barbarian read it.
Beyond the Hall of Heroes lies the Chamber of Bone. Eternal death awaits any who would seek to steal the treasures secured within this room. So speaks the Lord of Terror, and so it is written.
And there we go. Pops open. Great. I guess I killed everything in there, huh? Can't even keep track of all the shit I kill. Book of Firewall. I guess I'll be selling a lot of magic books soon. I was actually stockpiling books, as you probably saw in that shared stash. That way people who want like some free shit can always go on the site and, you know, get some free shit. But yeah, so I was stockpiling those books, but I'm actually running out of pages for them. And I don't want to have like 10 pages of books in there and, like, you know, no gear. So probably gonna leave some space for gear. Okay, that guy's just gonna shoot at me, so we're gonna level up. Yeah, leveling up's always good. That's what all the cool kids do. Let's see, I always like to check this. Ah, 15%. There we go. Alright, so I think we have a new skill. Frenzy. Each successful hit increases Barbarian offensive capabilities and reduces damage endurance. So you get an extra 5 damage and hits chance. You get more speed, but your armor and resistances go down. And its duration's 5 seconds per stack, I guess. And character level and strength affected. That's another reason why I do put a little bit to strength, because a lot of his stuff is dependent on that. Let's see if Frenzy works with the bow. I'm really not sure, actually. I mean, it looks like probably not. Which is a shame, like I was hoping. Oh, this guy's a boss. Shit. Shit, son. Alright. Yeah, I was kind of hoping it would work with the bow, because that would be pretty baller. It works with this, though. We'll use Berserker Rage, too. Just, you know, just to be thorough. So yeah, that's pretty nice. That works. I kind of like, I think I like, whatchamafuck better. Cleave. It's like more even keel, really. So we'll keep using that. Maybe I'll find a use for Frenzy, though. I think it's one of those skills that maybe after you level up a few times, it becomes a little more effective. It didn't seem to be dealing any more damage, really. So it could be bugged. I'm not sure. I'll have to test it and see how it goes. So, yeah, that's about it, guys. It's, 120 damage. It's a nice critical hit. But yeah, that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I will be back with more. Maybe we'll do one of the quests in level 6 here. I'm not sure. I'll sleep on that. For now, I'm just going to look for the waypoint so I can get back easily. And, you know, do Diablo things that I do off screen, like farm equipment and grind enemies and stuff. Literally grind against them in a sexual manner. It's kind of a bad habit of mine. But anyway, thank you guys. I will be back with more. And until next time, good luck and happy gaming.